Imagine a holiday so deeply woven into the fabric of a society that it transcends religious, geographic, and social boundaries. A time of gathering, where tables are brimming with an abundance of food, and hearts are filled with gratitude. Yes, I'm talking about Thanksgiving, a unique celebration to the United States. But its roots run deeper than the first Plymouth Feast back in 1621. This holiday echoes ancient harvest time celebrations from around the world, from ancient Greeks honoring Demeter, to the Romans celebrating Ceres, to Jewish families observing the festival of Sukkot. A cornucopia of cultures, isn't it? But, my friends, as we trace the journey of this holiday through the corridors of time, we stumble upon an intriguing twist. A twist so unexpected that... patience, my friends. All will be revealed in due time. What's up, my amazing and curious folks? You're tuned into the Curiosity Wonderland, ready to unravel mysteries together? I'm your host Cesar Chagas, and with me is the brilliant Sonia, always ready to dive deep into the wonders of the world.
Hi everyone. Cannot wait to start today's exciting journey with you all.
Don't forget, folks, to subscribe to our channel and hit that bell icon so you never miss an episode. Let's dive in, shall we? Fascinating, isn't it? We find ourselves thinking of Thanksgiving as a uniquely American tradition. But as with many things, the roots are traced back to the Old World, and even further back, to ancient civilizations. The Greeks and Romans had their own versions of Thanksgiving celebrations, with feasts, music, parades, and sports. The tradition of celebrating the bountiful harvest was a universal theme, a way of expressing gratitude. And speaking of gratitude, how about the symbol of the cornucopia, the horn of plenty? Did you know that its origins date back to Greek and Roman mythology? An enchanted severed goat's horn, created by Zeus himself, that could provide a never-ending supply of whatever the owner desired. Incredible, right? Now let's take a moment, my listeners, to reflect on this. These ancient civilizations, separated by time and geography, all found a way to express their gratitude for the fruits of the earth. They celebrated with feasts, music, games, and parades, quite similar to how we celebrate Thanksgiving today. Isn't it intriguing how certain traditions stand the test of time and unite us as a species? And it gets even more intriguing, folks. But I'll leave that for a bit later. In the meantime, how are you finding this? Have you ever thought about the origins of the traditions we hold dear? Don't forget to hit that like button if you're enjoying this deep dive into the fascinating world of Thanksgiving. We're just getting started, so stay tuned. Diving deeper into this rabbit hole of Thanksgiving traditions, we find that the ritual of gratitude isn't just limited to the Western world. Take the ancient Chinese, for example. They held a festival called Chung Chui to celebrate the harvest moon. Entire families would gather and feast on mooncakes, which are round yellow cakes. Even today, the Mid-Autumn Festival, as it's now called, is a major celebration in China. Then we have the Jewish festival of Sukkot, a harvest festival that's been celebrated for 3,000 years. Families would build a hut of branches, called a Sukkot, and then eat their meals under the night sky for 8 days. Let's not forget the ancient Egyptians, who held a harvest festival in honor of Min, the god of vegetation and fertility. Parades, music, and sports were all part of the celebrations, much like the Roman tradition we mentioned earlier. And back in the British Isles, we had a festival called Lammas Day. People would bring a loaf of bread made from the first wheat harvest to the church. The bread would then be blessed as a way of giving thanks for that year's harvest. Now, what about America? The origins of the modern Thanksgiving, as we know it, is tied to the history of the Puritans, a group fleeing religious persecution in England. They sailed across the Atlantic on a ship called the Mayflower, enduring a harsh journey that lasted 65 days, and finally set foot on what is now Massachusetts. Their first winter was so brutal that less than 50 of them survived the season. But then, something remarkable happened. An Abenaki Indian named Samoset entered their settlement and welcomed the Pilgrims in English. He returned the next day with another American Indian named Squanto, who helped the Pilgrims survive in the New World. It's fascinating, isn't it? From ancient festivals to hardship and resilience, the threads of Thanksgiving and gratitude are woven through cultures and timelines. It's a testament to our shared humanity, our shared need to celebrate and give thanks. So, let's take a moment, dear listeners, to think about this. What traditions do you celebrate? How do you give thanks? Remember, we're all part of this grand tapestry of gratitude. Continuing our journey through the annals of time, we see the Pilgrims learning from the American Indians. They learned how to tap maple trees, how to avoid poisonous plants, and how to plant corn, among other survival techniques. Their first harvest turned out to be quite a success, thanks to the assistance of the American Indians. To celebrate this successful harvest, Plymouth Colony's governor, William Bradford, decided to throw a grand feast. They invited their American Indian neighbors, and the feast lasted for 3 long days. It's believed that the fare included venison and fish rather than turkey, and was prepared using American Indian methods. This first Thanksgiving is seen by many as a shining example of mutual respect and cooperation between 2 distinct cultures. Yet, it's also symbolic of the strife the colonists would later inflict on the American Indians. To honor their ancestors and acknowledge the violence and discrimination they suffered, some American Indians began observing a day of mourning on Thanksgiving Day in 1970. Now, it's unclear whether the Pilgrims called that first feast a Thanksgiving celebration, but they were definitely celebrating the abundance of food and peace with their neighbors. It wasn't until several years later, after enduring a months-long drought, that Thanksgiving was celebrated in earnest. The governor called for a fast, and when rain finally came, reviving their crops, the Puritans had cause to celebrate. This tradition of marking good fortune with a day of gratitude spread throughout New England. Isn't history fascinating, folks? It's a rich tapestry of events, emotions, and human spirit. And it all leads us to where we are today. I hope you're enjoying this journey as much as I am. Stay tuned, there's more to come. As our country took shape, so did the practice of Thanksgiving. For instance, when the American Revolution led to victory in the Battle of Saratoga, the Continental Congress declared a day of Thanksgiving. Later in 1789, President George Washington declared a day of Thanksgiving to celebrate the ratification of the U.S. Constitution.
Interesting. So Thanksgiving was never really the product of a single event, but rather a practice that evolved over time?
Exactly right. It was more a series of events and traditions that built up over time. In 1817, New York officially adopted a yearly Thanksgiving Day, and other states followed suit. By the mid-1800s, Sarah Josepha Hale, a magazine editor, started campaigning for Thanksgiving to become a national holiday.
And I guess she was successful in her campaign, wasn't she?
Indeed, she was. President Abraham Lincoln, in 1863, declared Thanksgiving as a national holiday, to be celebrated on the last day of November. This move was mainly to boost the Union Army's morale during the Civil War. After the war, Thanksgiving became a national holiday.
But wasn't there some controversy with President Roosevelt and Thanksgiving?
Yes, there was. In 1939, Roosevelt decided to move Thanksgiving up a week to extend the Christmas shopping season. However, many people did not agree with this change and continued to celebrate Thanksgiving on the last Thursday. Roosevelt's version was even jokingly referred to as Franksgiving. Eventually, in 1941, Roosevelt signed a bill making Thanksgiving the fourth Thursday in November.
So it's kind of like a roller coaster ride, isn't it? A story of traditions, changes, and acceptance. Now, what about the turkey? When did that become a symbol of Thanksgiving?
Well, turkeys are indigenous to the New World and were plentiful during the time of the first Thanksgiving. Though the first feast likely centered around venison and fish, Governor William Bradford did note the great number of wild turkeys. Today, more than 90% of Americans eat turkey on Thanksgiving. It's become a significant symbol of the day. The Thanksgiving table overflows with symbolism. Besides turkey, corn is another significant dish. This abundant crop was key to the Pilgrims' survival, cultivated with the help of the American Indians to ensure ample food for the winter. And let's not forget about cranberries. It's believed that they were a part of the first Thanksgiving feast. The American Indians had a cranberry sauce called ibami, which translates to bitter berry. The colonists referred to it as craneberry, due to its flower's resemblance to the long-necked bird, the crane. But Thanksgiving isn't just about the food. Other significant traditions include football and parades. The tradition of Thanksgiving football games can be traced back to the early harvest festivals, where celebrations were often accompanied by games and sports. Today, we see multiple football games taking place on Thanksgiving Day. Thanksgiving parades, on the other hand, started in the early 20th century when stores like Macy's sponsored elaborate parades to kick off the Christmas shopping season. The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade is a grand example of this tradition. Many people choose to give back to their communities on this day, volunteering at soup kitchens, shelters, or other local organizations. This gesture of gratitude aligns with the spirit of Thanksgiving. We also have the National Turkey Federation, who have been gifting a live Thanksgiving turkey to the White House since 1947. It's not exactly known when U.S. presidents began pardoning the White House Thanksgiving turkey, but it's thought to be tied to Abraham Lincoln sparing a turkey named Jack from becoming the main dish in a holiday meal. Today, the annual turkey ceremony takes place before Thanksgiving, and the public gets to name the spared turkey. This lucky bird then lives out its days at Kidwell Farm, a petting zoo in Virginia. The first official turkey pardoning ceremony took place in 1989, during the presidency of George H. W. Bush. Lastly, as Thanksgiving falls on the fourth Thursday of November, which can vary each year, the President of the United States issues an annual proclamation to set the date of the celebration. Just like that, our beloved Thanksgiving Day comes to life once again every year. So, we've walked through the evolution of Thanksgiving, tracing its roots all the way back to the Pilgrims and the American Indians, following its journey through time, change, and controversy, all the way to the Thanksgiving we know today. An interesting fact is that every president since Abraham Lincoln has issued a Thanksgiving Day proclamation, continuing a tradition that Lincoln himself began in 1863. This tradition serves as a reminder of the origin and essence of this cherished holiday. But let's not forget the central role food has played in this holiday. From the abundant corn crops, the bitter cranberries, to the festive turkey, each Thanksgiving dish tells a story of survival, cooperation, and gratitude. Thanksgiving is also a time for sports and parades, volunteer activities, and even a presidential turkey pardon. It's a holiday that embodies a spirit of gratitude, community, and celebration, continuing to bring people together year after year. Now we've tackled a lot of history and tradition today, but there's always more to discover about this unique holiday. Remember, knowledge is an ongoing journey, and I am glad to embark on this journey with each and every one of you. Let's continue to explore and learn together on Curiosity Wonderland. So there you have it, folks. Thanksgiving, a cherished tradition in American culture, is a rich tapestry of ancient harvest time celebrations, cooperation between Pilgrims and American Indians, and evolving traditions that bring people together. It's more than just turkey, corn, and cranberries, it's a celebration of gratitude, resilience, and community. And don't forget, while you're enjoying your slice of pumpkin pie, remember the long journey of this holiday, from a harsh winter in Plymouth to the presidential turkey pardon. So, as you sit around your Thanksgiving table this year, spare a thought for the cranberry.
Absolutely, that was a journey through time. Thanksgiving is not just a day off or a prelude to Christmas shopping. It's a symbol of survival, cooperation, and of course, gratitude. It's amazing to think how much history is packed into our holiday traditions. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Curiosity Wonderland. If you did, don't just sit there after your Thanksgiving feast. Blast the like button, drop a comment with your favorite Thanksgiving traditions, and share this episode with your friends and family. Let's spread the knowledge and the spirit of Thanksgiving.
Yes, let's share the love and the learning. Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed our deep dive into the history and meaning behind Thanksgiving.
Stay curious, keep exploring, and we'll see you on the next episode of Curiosity Wonderland. Happy Thanksgiving!
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone! Goodbye for now. The information we explored today comes from the article How Thanksgiving Works, written by Allison Klein and posted on the HowStuffWorks site on November 22, 2023. The full URL will be in the video description if you wish to delve deeper into this fascinating topic. Now, I'm off.